올라갔을 때는 그때 우승한 거만큼 좀 기뻤었는데 지나고 나니까 아직 8강이구나 라는 생각이 드네요.
8강 밑으로 떨어져 본 기억이 없긴 한데 단 한 번밖에 결승을 못 갔다는 게 좀 많이 좀 가슴이 아파서 이번 시즌에는 8강 징크스를 깨고 4강 결승까지 가고 싶어요.
옛날에는 좀 쉬웠거든요. 근데 요새 좀 힘들더라고요. 제가 더 많이 이긴 걸로 기억하니까 제가 올라가도록 할게요.
까다롭다라는 생각을 많이 들었어요. 모든 테란한테 물어봐도 가장 까다로워하는 저그를 꼽으라면 명우를 많이 뽑거든요.
S인 것 같아요. 자기한테 주도권이 있으면 되게 잘 흔드는 것 같아요.
A 정도? 다른 저그들이 대부분 수비적인데 박영우 선수만 공격성하고 전략성이 좀 뛰어나다고 생각을 해가지고.
혹시 막는 걸 본 적이 없나요?
테란이 뭐 막는 종족입니까? 공격하는 종족이지. S를 줄게요.
확실히 전략성도 S인 것 같아요.
제 전략성은 뭐 그 정도 받을 만하다고 생각합니다. B? 아무래도 저그 전략이 좀 한정적이다 보니까 다른 저그에 비해서는 좀 후하게 준 거예요.
A? 좀 실수하는 부분들이 있어가지고.
B 정도 줄게요. 피지컬 좋은 사람이 그 동족전을 굉장히 잘한다고 생각하는데 동족전이 굉장히 약하더라고요.
D 정도 멘탈? 제가 볼 때는 안 좋은 것 같아요.
저도 D? 아니 저도 역수입을 많이 당하지만 3년 동안 8강을 못 올라오는 게 말이 안 되거든요. 실력보다 멘탈에 문제가 있었다고 저는 생각을 합니다.
A? 3억 먹긴 했는데 아직 막 국내 리그에서 우승 못했죠. 그래가지고
저도 A 줄게요. 박영우 선수가 국내 대회 우승은 있겠지만 해외 대회에서 우승이 하나도 없기 때문에.
의료선을 좀 짜증나게 잘 날리셔가지고.
박영우 선수의 감명충이 좀 인상 깊더라고요. 잘 숨어 다니고 또 진균 그런 각을 굉장히 잘 봐가지고.
태양이 형, 뭐 3판 2선은 이기셨겠지만 다전제 알잖아요. 많이 겪어봐서 잘 오셨어요.
영우야, 형은 너의 그런 무게감과는 나는 차이가 날 거야. 나는 연습실에서보다 더 잘할 거니까 걱정했으면 좋겠다. 기대해.
Alright, we are about to go into this match. TY versus Dark.
이번 대결
But first we'll have an interview with them, see what their immediate thoughts are before we get this
대결이
going.
준비되어 있는데요. 박영우 선수와 전태양 선수 제 양옆에 나와 있습니다. 안녕하세요.
Let's meet Dark and TY. Hello.
와, 박영우 선수 드디어 오셨습니다. 8강에 올라오셨는데요.
finally made it
오늘
to the,
오니까 느낌 어떠세요?
quarterfinals. How do you feel now?
새롭고요.
네.
마치 그 신인 시절로 돌아간.
Yeah, it's pretty new for me being in the
네.
quarterfinals. I'm
우승한
feeling lucky.
것보다 이 8강 진출이 더 기뻤다 이렇게 말씀하셨는데
Seems like-
상대는 어떠세요?
You were very happy, almost like you won a championship. But what do you think about your opponent?
4강 갈것 같네요. 이렇게 얘기했겠지만
네.
태양이 형이라서 좀 많이 부담이 돼요.
If I meet Beyond,
전태양 선수는 벌써 5연속입니다.
I'd be a
8강이
little bit
많이
more nervous,
익숙하시죠?
but it's TY, so I'm okay.
익숙하면서 굉장히 불안한 것이 항상 8강인 것 같고.
네.
8강
For TY,
상대가 또 박영우 선수인 만큼 더
the quarterfinals really
준비를
played for
많이
you,
했고
TY.
굉장히 좀
But
힘든 하루가 될 것 같아요.
since my opponent's Darky
전태양
says, I think
선수에게는
it's going to
8강이
be
정말 중요한
gonna be a
시점인
tough
것
series for
같아요. 자, 이렇게 중요한 길목에서 두 선수가 만났습니다. 영상 보니까 굉장히 객관적으로 서로에게
So
스트레스를
today we've
주는
got two
모습
strong
굉장히
players meeting up.
깊었습니다. 오늘 멘탈 문제더라고요. 멘탈.
after watching the videos of you two.
누가 먼저 정신을 잃나.
네.
The worst part was the
문제일까요?
mentality you said for TY. Tell us
그리고
about that.
저는 16강만 넣으면
네,
단단해지기 때문에 멘탈이
네.
태양이 형만 좀 잘 추스렸으면 좋겠어요.
For me, after the
네.
round of 16,
전태양 선수
I don't know
멘탈
why.
오늘은 자신 있으세요?
I think
오늘은
sometimes
좀
I'm weak, so it's up to TY.
관리를
TY, how do you
좀
feel? Are you
잘해가지고,
confident?
좀 멘탈이 튼튼한 상태로 온 것 같고 컨디션만
I think my
좋다면
condition's
충분히
pretty
이길
good
수
today.
있다고 생각하고 있어요.
네, 오늘
As
7주년을
long as I keep this
맞이해서
up,
많은
I
팬분들도
think I should be fine.
오시고 또 여러 팬들의 응원도 받고 있습니다. 저희 축하 메시지 좀 들을 수 있을까요?
So I want to hear what you guys.
일단 GSL이
have to
벌써
say.
7년 동안 오랫동안 하고 있는데 그
So
덕분에는 또
GSL has
팬분들이
been
많은
7
좀
years.
힘이 되어주는 것 같고 그래가지고 또 많은 선수들이 이렇게 기쁘게 참여할
And
수
you know,
있는 것
with all the
같고
fan
앞으로도
support
많이
coming down here this
참여해
weekend, it's
주시면
people like that that
좋겠고
have made this
앞으로도
possible.
10년, 20년
Because the
가까이
fans
저의 게임의
Saying this as a pro
생활과
gamer for the past 7
오래
years,
지냈으면
I've been really happy to be
10년
part of the GSL.
네. 자, 박영 선수 저희 생일이에요.
네네. 좀 상당히 부담되네요.
He also mentioned he wants to
네,
keep playing 10, 20 years in the future in the GSL.
솔직히 7년 된 줄 몰랐거든요.
What about you,
3년밖에
Dirk?
안 해가지고
아,
되게 오래됐다니 놀랍고
I didn't realize it had been 7 years. I've only been playing in the GSL for 3 years.
축하받을 자리 만들어보도록 하겠습니다.
네, 알겠습니다.
I just want to
자,
say
이제
congratulations to the
결정인데요.
GSL for 7
서로에게
years.
한마디 딱 강력하게 한마디씩
And also he says that I'm
나눠보도록
gonna be
하겠습니다.
advancing to the
먼저 박영우
semifinals.
선수.
And he says he looks forward to another
오랜만에 스투밖에 안 했거든요. 최근에. 그래서 아마
Any strong words to each other?
그냥 옛날 느낌 날 것 같아요. 태양이 형이 옛날에 저한테
Recently, I've only been playing StarCraft
그
2,
느낌
so
그대로 가겠습니다.
옛날
So I'm pretty
생각나게
confident going up
해줄게
against
이렇게
TY.
말씀하셨는데요.
일단
I'm going to show TY why
최근에
he's
스투밖에
always
안
going to lose to me.
했다고 얘기를 하는 것 같아요. 저는 항상 스투밖에 안 하거든요. 그러니까
He said recently he's only been playing
박영우
StarCraft 2.
선수가 요즘
He said, but for me, I've always not just recently been playing StarCraft 2. That's all I do.
전 세계로 한번 다시 보낼 수 있도록 열심히 최선을 다하겠습니다.
That hurts
네,
me.
알겠습니다. 자,
The
이렇게
Darkest, I've heard he's been playing a little bit of
서로의
Battlegrounds
굉장한
too.
모습 보기가
I'm gonna show him what happens if you
좋죠.
just play
오늘
StarCraft
마지막
2.
8강 경기 시작하겠습니다.
All right, it's time. Terran versus Zerg, humans versus the bugs.
Yep. Played by humans. No bugs playing today, but
Yeah, in another reality though, there's a whole planet of Zergs that play StarCraft 2.
yeah.
And they of course have Terrans there too.
Does
But-
Terran win all the tournaments there as well?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for
I
sure.
think so. Okay, so looking at this, guys, Dark. Right now, I do want to once again bring it back to the BlizzCon point story. Of course, Dark wants to get a GSL championship. It's a big deal. He has never won one. This is the furthest he's been in GSL ever. TY still doesn't have his own, of course, losing his S. But one big thing to bring up, because Byun lost tonight, if Dark wins this match, he is 100% locked into BlizzCon. There's only
right.
2 spots to fight over. There's only 3 spots right now. Dark in 6th place, Hero in 7th, and Byun in 8th place. And all 3 of those are still somewhat up for grabs, but Dark only needs the smallest little tiny boost in points to get out of reach of everyone. And a victory here would absolutely do it for him.
Today's been so good. We already had that great match with Byun versus Innovation, but I think this match is going to be just as good, if not better. We have 2 great players that they always go to late game, right? There's a chance here or there we'll have a shorter game. It's what happens in a best of 5. But overall, I think Dark has actually shown us the best CBT late game that we've seen today.
He's like the Zerg that will never ever die. He totally knows what to do in the late game.
Yeah.
He's a very creative Zerg. I definitely disagreed with a lot of the ratings these 2 gave each other, to be honest, Staceless. But I think that both these guys don't necessarily kill their opponents in the earlier mid-game too often. I feel like they'll get ahead, and the game will go a bit longer, then they'll
Jesus.
just close it out.
81.08% win rate against Zerg. That's crazy. Makes sense though. The way he plays, the way he pushes out so cleanly, all of his tactical engages are smart. He knows exactly what the other race is doing. He's usually able to topple any Zerg.
And if it's not working, he gets into the late game, and there's a very tiny window where you can kill him. If you don't kill him, he gets into that supreme late game that involves like a lot of ghosts and liberators,
Exactly.
missile turrets, all this stuff. And when he gets into there, it is the rarest thing ever to see a Zerg take him out. But Dark would be on the short list of Zergs, so I definitely give a chance to.
Happy birthday, GSL. 7 years. 7 years!
So wild.
Crazy. Here's to 7 more. Dark versus TY. We're going to start things off on Ascension to IR. We are mostly predicting macro games out of these guys, but
Yeah.
of course in a best of 5, you do have to mix it up. You can't let them download you too hard.
Dude, I hope that you went pee before we started this, Tasteless,
did
because
not.
Ascension to Iron Mech Depot, I can see both those being like 25-minute games.
I brought my
plus.
caster diaper. Don't even worry about it. We're going to go into game 1.
2017
I brought
Dark
my-
versus TY.
My cast fitter.
Season 3.
Your caster.
Into the night, we never die. In the shadows, we can break.
2,541. God, we've been doing this for a long time.
7 years.
7 years. In the bottom right,
Dark.
So that is 500 matches a year on average. A little bit more. Isn't that crazy?
is
500
crazy.
matches a year.
Yeah.
Jeez.
A lot of games we've casted. In the upper left, in the red, he is
Splice. TY.
Oh, this is going to be a
Splice
great
TY.
match.
I'm just one of his Splice girls, man.
Yeah. They're pretty awesome. The fact that Stats is already up there in the round of 4, with TY hoping to join him. Both those guys already going to be at BlizzCon. Solar still has a chance to get to BlizzCon. It's kind of an outside chance, but he is ranked high. He's like 10th or so right now, 9th or 10th. So he might be able to do it.
Nice hoodie. Give me one of those. That's another shirt I got to steal from my work.
Yeah. Why does
I'll
everyone have
go-
GSL clothes except us?
I have them. I go down and steal them when they're done, and
Yeah,
then
that's
then before I leave, I go to the bathroom and I take all the toilet paper rolls. And
Yeah.
yeah, and I've got everything.
Wow.
Yeah. Hatchery.
I take all the power cords to the computers and just bring them home. I just
Yeah.
have a ton of power cords
Yeah.
at home.
and
I
then when
braid
they-
them. It's really weird.
You
I just have
braid them?
braided power cords all over my house. They plug into each other. I have the longest braided power cord snake on earth.
It's like a power cord, Rat King or something. Are we going to have the third hatchery? I think so. Artosis, do you know how many calories you have to consume to become a hatchery?
How many?
It's a lot. It's a lot.
300.
It's more like 3,000 calories if you're
Wow.
going to bulk up to hatchery status. Now the dance we've seen a million times over, let's find out if it actually deviates from anything that we've seen before. Normally nothing dies here because both guys are playing perfectly.
Yeah.
But because the Reaper is here, the Darren has to try to use it and do something.
Yeah, it's scouting. It's keeping tabs on things. See, now it's like, do you have a third? Yep, you have a third. Okay, there it is. Yeah, this early game, especially on this map, man, I don't know if anyone's going to be able to kill each other too early. It's just such a long marching distance to actually end a game. You can try some early timings and stuff, but both these guys are pretty good defensively, so it's hard for me to believe that someone can kill the other one early on. And especially if, like, for instance, Dark goes Bane Hydra. We haven't really seen him doing that a whole lot. That's not necessarily his style, but he is a very flexible player. But if he goes for that, I can so easily see this becoming just a completely epic macro game.
I agree. Who do you think takes this, if you had to guess?
The series or this game?
This series.
I think that...
Leaning a little bit towards Dark here.
Oh, really? Are you?
Yeah.
I'm leaning a little bit towards TY, actually. His supreme late game is truly something remarkable. I really think that he is basically the best, you know, at the very end game of TBC. So I'm leaning towards TY. But of course, you know, Dark, I really want to see him at BlizzCon. I really want to see if he can one-up himself from last year. That second place definitely disappointing for him, and I love Dark's like kind of style and story overall, where he's like, I want to be the greatest there ever was.
Yeah, we saw that video at BlizzCon.
Yeah.
What was it called? WCS Championship Series or something
Yeah,
like that?
Signature Series.
Signature Series thing.
Apollo's so angry at you right now.
Yeah. You can check those out on YouTube. They did one for each of the guys, but they're really well produced, and you really get a lot of insight into the players, how they think. And Dark did say it's not like he just wants to win a tournament. He wants to be the best player of all time.
Yeah, and it takes a lot of balls to actually say that.
Yeah.
So
it's easier to be like, I haven't really practiced, and my race is too hard.
Yeah.
That's usually the route that people go.
Yeah. You're very right about that one. I love that auto turret to kill an Overlord.
Yeah, why not? You have the energy. And of course, he can use the Raven here to try to gun down any creep tumors as long as the Queens will let him. In this case, there's enough Queens there in the front. He has to back up. Getting 3 more barracks, rotating the starport and factory over. So we're going to start to see Terran with a little bit more muscle. And this is going to go into what TY likes to do. It's important to point out that TY, beyond innovation, that we all look at them as the greatest Terrans out there, but they actually play very differently.
Very, very differently.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like all of them are good at everything. Just to make this very, very clear, every single one of them is amongst the top at basically every stat part, but they really do have their own fingerprint within the game. Byun is very aggressive and very micro-intensive. Innovation is very efficient and macro-intensive, and TY is kind of very brainy and positional. Yeah, he's a very tactical player. He'll take the right engagements all the time, that type of thing. It's like a harder thing to describe because it's not.
He'll also cut you off at the pass a lot more often.
Yeah.
It looks like he's going to make a beeline to this fourth base up here. Now, I don't know if he knows that's taken, but he's going to land right over it, so I'm assuming he's going to unload there.
Yeah, you're very right about that. He even checks the other location with his Hellions.
Sees the creep coming up here. And the Raven's going to come around the back here and chuck down auto turrets to try to get these drones. Stim is almost done, by the way. When Stim's done, Terran's a real threat. Hellions being chased away, but there's nothing so far to defend, so he does force a cancel, and if he can actually get this drone, that's great, too. He's going to get him coming here, get all these creep tumors. Great play.
A really strong move to open up with TY. That's probably the most damage we'll see early on here, in my opinion. Oh, that was nice, too. Nice. He got some banelings and killed 6 SCVs.
I was drinking my water, did not see that.
But
go ahead.
But yeah, like, this isn't Lingbane Hydra. This isn't Lingbane Hydra. Sorry, it is Lingbane Hydra. This isn't Lingbane Muta, in which case that fourth base is 100% critical, like mission critical. You have to have it. Any delays is maybe a loss.
Oh, this is a really good thing you're saying. Go on.
Yeah, when you're going Lingbane Hydra, it's a little bit different. Like, you have some leeway to have a slightly smaller economy. Now, this push TY's doing, this is a really cool move. He's going right after this fourth base, but Dark is double expanding right now. So I don't think that this is, like, he should be able to force a cancel here, maybe? With those siege tanks? No, maybe not.
Yeah, he's kiting the Banelings pretty well. Yeah. Actually, he has enough he can dive back on. Oh, there's a tank over there on the left?
Yeah.
It's like a tank from another game shot into this one.
Well, Liberator there as well, starting to pick off quite a few drones.
Oh my god. So good. Look at this.
Absolutely everywhere at the moment.
All the Zerg players are crying at home, holding Zergling plushies, going, leave below. It's really hard to stop Liberator, Raven, Marine Medevac.
Yeah, well, TY's hitting absolutely everywhere while taking a fourth base of his own.
Yeah.
But again, you know, 2-2 is going to be finishing up here, and he's got his Hydralisk starting to come up. That upgrade's done. Baneling speed is done. His creep spread's starting to look pretty awesome. So he has the time to, kind of recover here. Now, what is TY doing? He's adding a second factory. He's continuing siege tank production. This is one of the cleanest ways to try to kill a Lingbane Hydra player, is making a bunch of siege tanks and getting them before they really get their hive tech going.
Another medevac coming out now. It seems like Dark is geared up for a counterattack. We have these Lings way in the south. I think they're going to come up here and hit this base that's just right on the left side of the mini-map. But you got to be careful, because for the amount that Dark's lost, sometimes he has a cool counterattack and it does something, and then TY stims and comes in and does an insane amount of damage. So that was a good shutdown there. Really nice by TY. Does he have enough back at home? Because there's multi-pronged attacks coming up here. TY, the god of this positional play.
He's just going to build that command center a little bit further back, but that definitely sets him back a little bit, similarly to how he did that to Dark. Of course, he's been at third base for quite a while, so still his macro is true. It's true. It's like an arrow. It's true, finding its mark. Look at those siege tanks, just non-stop production.
Now, the Banelings are going to come in here and try to hit. I believe there's a tank up here, so this won't do, I believe, anything. Right? Yeah, completely shuts that down. Probably the wrong time to try to do that counterattack there. If you don't see Terran trying to move out at all, probably has enough back at home.
By the way, that scan we just saw on the main base is very important. It shows where TY's head is at. He wants to know when Hive is on the way, because once you get into that Hive, siege tank pushes are not going to do quite as well. You know, if they have Vipers out, for instance, Blinding Cloud or Abduct, both very great spells against those pushes.
Perhaps you wait for the Hive to start and then move out, like it's starting right now. Maybe that's the key moment to try to come out here and utilize the damage that you can deal.
Well, certainly, as long as it is before that Hive tech kicks in, that is going to be your strongest moment with those siege tanks. He is making Liberators now as well. He started up 3-2 also, but the Hive didn't start till after his scan, and pretty quickly after his scan, so there's a possibility TY doesn't really get a clean read on when that's coming up.
Again, coming through here, trying to take out these creep tumors without overextending. TY doing a very good job. I love how he's keeping some of those Marines back so that the Zerg sends the wrong amount to try to squash that and then hemorrhages more units. Up here is a big counter, but with this many depots and tanks, and the tank line is chained together pretty nicely. I don't think it's going to work at all.
Yeah, I don't think he's even going to attack.
I was going to say I don't think it's worth it.
I think Dark is simply getting into position for a counterattack if TY moves out, because Dark knows this is his weakest moment. When he's on this unit set for a long time, not having done any damage, and is going into Hive. So if this comes in, he'll attack down, but otherwise I think he's just playing in the middle. Like, you see what he's doing right now? He's like, all right, yeah, micro against this, let's do it.
Look at how comfortably he avoids those banelings too. Okay, here's that big counterattack.
Never mind. I guess I was wrong about that.
That was not worth it. He killed 5 SCVs and lost a lot of banelings and hydras. Infantry armor almost done here. Terran continuing to push, and now with the Liberators here, he can actually set up a stronghold and begin doing damage to the actual infrastructure for Zerg.
Vipers and the Ultralisk Cavern on the way, though. So is he going to be able to actually do a killing push? I don't think so. And this is part of the issue with Ascension to Ire. It's such a large map that to actually fully commit to a full push is very difficult. Look at this. TY, before he starts to move out with a large force, has 5 bases up.
Okay, now there's a lot of banelings. This is going to be enough to bust through. TY is trying to set up a premium position here. He's forking out. Okay, yeah, actually, I think Dark has to ditch this, does he? Whoa, that's a lot of stuff. Never mind.
No.
Whoa.
Well,
sorry, guys.
The siege tank spread is very, very important. He has 2 Vipers out, so those are going to help out a bit. But he just needs to slow this down.
He's going to be careful. Anything that's drawn out, he needs to get those units on hold position at the top. They're getting fished out. All right, here we go.
Okay, and come these Vipers. They've got to throw down their spells immediately. A lot of Blinding Clouds do connect here.
Oh my god, Dark is just cleaning house with this. There's more reinforcements coming through. And with those other tanks coming in the back here, Terran didn't lose that high ground position, so TY does have the luxury of trying to get another setup here. But I'm worried. TY's supply has plummeted heavily.
Yeah,
there's a lot more units that are being produced. I think when the next wave comes in here, he might come in here and smash this position again.
He's lost so many of his siege tanks, and now Ultras are on the way. Kindness plating 3-3 as well. Now, TY does have +3 attack, which is pretty nice, and is splitting off at least a single medevac here to try to get other damage. But his army got small enough that I feel like he needs to back up into just the latest game army. And in fact, just as I say that, a Ghost Academy going down.
And when that Ghost Academy gets up, that's the point in time where Zerg can be in a lot of trouble. Because it's a very real and direct response to that Ultra attack. And, you know, it's tricky. It's a lot easier to target down those Ultras. Ultras are units that don't retreat very well. You sort of have to commit when you have the Ultras coming in there. Oh, I'm sorry. He actually got that hatchery. Very nicely done.
Oh, yeah. That's really good. But there's Ultras out now, and that 3-3 in Chitinous Plating is going to be finishing up pretty quickly here. So that's a super powerful set of units that we're going to have out. But Ghosts on the way, being made. If TY can just sit back and really turtle now, I understand, like this drop, he's trying to buy a little bit of time. But this is the one moment where, for sure, Dark has a vastly superior army. And if TY does not turtle it up and live into this transition, which is going to be more Liberators, you know, replenishing some of the siege tanks and, of course, Ghosts, then he'll be in trouble. But look at this. He is setting up in the middle for it.
Yeah, this is a cool approach to by TY.
Yeah, I thought
TY-esque. He has this, like a game of chess where the center of the board is the most important. He knows that controlling this forces the clunky Ling Ultra army to go around it.
Yeah.
Which makes it easier for him to respond with the army back at home.
I guess with this many bases out, it makes sense that he would just control this stronghold. Because if he backs up to a planetary like he would on many, many maps, then a counterattack to a different base is going to be hard for him to spread out and defend. And as you see here, this nice little Ling attack forcing a liftoff at least.
Infantry coming down now to chase away these Lings. And this is kind of crazy here. I'm a little bit worried now for Dark. I'm looking at this position, and it's hard for Dark to stop the Terran's growth on the side of the map. And this is like a really, really cool response that TY sort of had to this moment in the game where normally the Zerg begins to be on top here. And he's just handling it really, really well. And you can see he just sort of has enough everywhere. Like Dark has the right idea, but TY is like way, way, way prepared.
Well, some good moves still being made, abducting some Liberators in there. I heard a couple Ghost die at least. trying to get in and do some damage to this base, using a lot of Banelings plus these Ultras to take down the siege tanks.
You know, the problem for Zerg when they do this is if you look at the gas traded versus the minerals traded, the Zerg trades a lot of gas to get these bases, where the Terran, which is usually quite mineral rich in the space of the game, doesn't really have any problems. I mean, you're fine trading Marines.
Yeah.
For this moment.
Definitely don't mind about that. As long as your supply kind of stays high enough that you don't straight up die to an attack that comes in. Now, here comes a big attack into the center here versus so many siege tanks. The Hydrolink Bane trying to come in, but very efficient here from TY.
He's harpooning some of these tanks and pulling them forward. Okay, I think he actually does have enough. You see there's no Ultras here, so the Ghosts don't really, there are now. I was going to say the Ghosts can't really be utilized, but the Ultras come in so late that the rest of this has been mopped up. Dark's actually doing it, I have to say. Oh my god, TY just taps out. GG, I guess when you lose that many tanks, everything in the middle of the map.
Yeah.
TY says, okay, forget about it.
That was really, really well done by TY. I mean, by Dark, sorry. And TY played well, but that is like the biggest map that we have, basically. It's just, it's so, I guess Mech Depot's really gigantic as well, and that'll be map 3, but that might be the hardest one for TY to pull together that Supreme late game on. The bases get kind of spread. You see the counterattacks starting to work on him because he's having to hold the middle to try to choke up the map a little bit. But great game there by Dark, looking strong. But this is a nice change from the TY Ro.8 curse. He normally goes up 2-0, making the other guy look bad, and then loses. Whereas this game, he loses game 1. I think TY just gained a boost of confidence, Stasis. He's not going to get reverse swept in the series. That's a fact.
Dark, you know, he hung on. That's what he's so good at. Dark can survive basically any Terran player's push, power up, and smash his opponent. And I gotta say, kudos to Dark. But I think you're right though. That map's out of the way now.
Yes.
So I think we could probably see a more solid game from TY. I like the idea of what he was doing, holding the center. But you can see Dark just sort of looked at it and had the answer. He's like, okay, you don't have that many tanks. I'm going to take out your 2 side bases. And while I'm, you know, giving up that supply by losing those Ultras, I mass into Hydra Baneling. And you don't have enough meat in the middle of the map to defend the tanks. And I run that over. And you're out.
Yeah. It was, I mean, this is Dark showing his level of this matchup of the game in general.
His Zoro sword and Zoro mask, and draws a D on the shirt with his blade. You've been darked.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to do a Z for Zerged.
Oh, I should have done that. That would have been better. Start the cast over.
Oh, my.
That joke could have been better. Anyways, game number 2 on Acolyte. Dark versus TY.
2017 Hot 6. GSL Season 3. Code S.
In the upper right, in the blue. In a world
Dark.
where computer games are played on TV.
It's this world, the best of all worlds.
One player must overcome all odds. He is
Splice.
coming this summer.
No, I keep forgetting to include Acolyte as one of the big maps because it is, as you were saying before, it is a little bit skinny, but it's quite a large map and there's a lot of free bases on it where it's like, you know, that back natural gets pretty free. It's droppable, sure, but
Dead nerds. TY on a pyramid of dead
that's
nerds.
fantastic. I love that sign.
Yeah. Little brittle nerd bones, calcium deficient below him.
He broke those nerd bones, those pencil neck nerds.
Always the darkest before it gets any darker. That's right. I think that's the reverse of true. I think that's... Put it on his tombstone.
Yeah.
Get it tattooed on your forearm.
On your forehead.
I'm going to get it tramp stamped above my butt. We got a lot of people down here today. Thanks for coming down, brother. By the way, I'm sorry. I totally don't know what I'm talking about. I saw the I saw the barracks at the entrance and thought that was a command center. I'm like, so 3 command centers. Cool. Never mind.
There's a third
3 command centers. I was right. Why do I ever second guess myself?
Yeah. So is this like CC first, rack CC versus hatch first, pool hatch? So like basically the same build, but TY's is a little bit better. Yeah. Anyways, that's kind of what this map can entail as well. Definitely can look a lot like that last game.
Funny we have the map named this. Remember Acolytes in Warcraft 3?
Oh,
Remember
yes,
playing
of course.
Undead in Warcraft
Yeah,
3?
yeah, I played Undead
What
actually
a nightmare
lot.
that was, man.
Yeah.
Remember the Grubby's Blade Master comes in there and just kills your Acolytes?
Yeah.
And then they try to surround.
Jeez.
You try to surround the Blade Master and he just wind walks out.
They were pretty annoying, those little Acolyte guys. They were like one of the least cool things in that game, right? Like Wisps. I'm like,
Wisps
that's
are
neat.
great.
Ghouls, those were awesome, right?
Uh-huh.
They like
They were like circles
attack
making
and
mine.
they get you wood.
They're like, we could kill trees too.
Then the Acolyte, like, what is this?
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know, I just worship over here and you get
Yeah.
money. I worship the gold and you get gold. It's like,
Hey guys, I'm an Acolyte. I don't even have armor. I wear these ceremonial robes while I mine gold.
oh, tassels.
So, most importantly for TY, he wants to mask how quickly he got the third CC so that the Zerg player can't identify what the tempo of the game is supposed to look like and respond.
And, you know, this is very quickly, I think, going to look exactly like the previous game. I do wonder, because TY scanned looking for Hive and then never really hit a timing where he could kill bases before the Vipers got out. To be fair, he like sent a medevac down and killed a hatch, so I guess in a way he did. But he didn't hit the full power of the tank push. And the Vipers are the moment where Dark took the lead in the previous game. So if it does turn out that way, it'll be cool to see how TY adjusts for that.
So this is going to be a slow start here. Some people on Twitter have asked me how my wrist is doing. I believe I have 2 more weeks in the cast. 2 more weeks, and then they do an X-ray, and then I probably have some physical therapy. But I've discovered since I've had this wrist injury that people for some reason don't believe that you can have this injury from playing computer games.
Yeah?
So I've decided collectively all of us on the internet can just get in on a lie and we can just make me sound cooler by saying I heard it by skateboarding. I was thinking about this on the way down here. I'm like, if we just get everybody in on it and they think I got hurt skateboarding, I am way cooler than I already am. Okay?
You know, I actually... I thought Wolf was pretty funny the other day. He said that you broke your wrist opening the computer to your new
my new streaming computer.
Your new streaming computer box. It's like so funny. Wait, guys, I'll stream when I get my new computer.
I'm like, oh
man.
Soon though.
Yes.
Soon I'll be back.
Can't wait.
In my
I'm
final
excited.
form.
Your final form, full wrist tasteless.
Full wrist tasteless.
It's the same form that you were in before you broke your wrist.
That's my
A
final
man
form.
with 2 wrists that aren't broken.
What we discovered, what we discovered is I can just, I can be in my final form and it's actually not really final because I can go back. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, you could break your wrist again.
Yeah, I could. Oh, don't even. Oh. Never again.
Maybe actually skateboarding that time.
Yeah. Are we going to try to start skating again, for real?
I have a skateboard now.
You got a
don't you know
skateboard?
that? I told you that.
My skateboard's back at my mom's house.
Yeah. Well, I'm terrible.
My mom's probably popping ollies right now as on my skateboard.
Oh, for sure.
Tic-tacking to work,
Oh, man.
So we have the drop coming in here. Something to talk about. That's what we're here for.
She's a cool mom. I don't know if she's that cool.
Yeah. We got to hold on. Is Dark going to be ready?
Well, Baneling speed is not quite done yet.
Yeah, actually, he can.
And Stim is not actually quite done yet either.
There's no transfuse on the other queen, right? I don't think so. Okay, he has to back up.
Just some poking and prodding going on right now. No one able to do too much. The creep spread is starting to get very, very far out there. And there's that Hydralisk upgrade. Tanks have been started. Does he get that second factory quickly again? Most likely he will. But again, like we were talking about before, that's kind of the place of interest for me in this game. Does he hit a quicker timing with his big chunk of siege tanks?
This is one of these maps. I think you're right when we said we do tend to neglect how big this map actually is, but it's another map where Terran can push and push and push and not actually do that much damage.
Yeah.
He could be Big Bad Wolf here. And that's the Brick House pig.
It's long
the turtling pig that is in the Brick House. Remember that tale?
Oh,
that was
yeah.
all about it going mech, really. He's trying to huff and puff and blow that house down, but he's like, man, I'm making mechanical units.
Wolf is the easiest race, right? So that's
true.
That makes it tough. Like they really need to nerf his breath.
Okay. Actually, he might. Never mind. It's one of those moments where the unit glitches and disappears. Stimming and trying to kite backwards here. Good pickups. The tank goes down, though. Dark is just annihilating this. I'm surprised he actually didn't go for that tank, too.
I think he thought that was a little bit too annoying there. Now, he actually just scouted the infestation pit. I think that's really important. The fourth base got up a lot quicker and easier for Dark, and thus he's made a much quicker infestation pit than the previous game. So TY should keep himself quite aware of that. He never made a second fact, did he?
Oh, I don't know, actually. That's a good question.
No, he didn't this game.
By the way, the creep spread on the right side of the map is really good.
Yeah,
He's doing a really good job, despite how hard TY's pushing over there on the left. Dark is like completely causing problems for TY elsewhere. And that's a sign of how good Dark is. It's like these Zerg players that are just so good, they don't stop growing ever. Like it's insane. They'll be fighting, and you just see hatcheries continue to pop up on the map.
Yeah, the only place that doesn't have sick creep is where TY has been spending unit after unit doing no real damage. But I'm really worried for TY here, Tasteless. Very extremely, superbly worried for TY because the Hive is halfway done, and the second factory gets started after the Hive started. That's too late for a second factory. If you're planning on doing the siege tank push, it is simply too late. There will be Vipers out easily. You're not even going to have 2 siege tanks out of there before there's Vipers out. So, like, to hamstring your push by trying to get extra tanks out of that, like, it's not going to work out. So I'm really preferring Dark's position.
I agree. By the way, a gold base is not taken yet. It's pretty hard for either race to take the gold. Like, you have to be crazy ambitious to try to pull that caper off, but we might eventually get to that point in time.
I like that.
You like that was good usage of the
Pull
word
that caper
right?
off.
Yeah.
That would be quite a caper.
That would
to
be
take
quite
these
a
gold
caper taking the
bases.
gold. You're like, I'm fine. Look, more. Okay, one Hydra disappears, the other one dies. Just like when that guy disappeared in the end of Looper, man. He's like, boop, just gone.
Okay, so TY is ahead on 2-2, so that's actually kind of nice for him. Definitely have to hand him that. But Adrenal on the way, an Ultralisk Cavern. There is only a single siege tank being made right now, so not even really utilizing that second factory.
Stimming and coming forward. Actually, is TY in a good enough position to take this? You can kite pretty heavily back here. There's not enough Banelings. Oh, wait, actually, I think this game might just get turned on its head. For all our praise, all of our praise to TY, look at this. This goes on for screens. Here the tank line goes into another map. That tank line goes into game 3, Artosis.
No, it very well might. You could be right about that, Taste. Pushing forward still, but TY holds on. Getting this tank push in advance of any Vipers.
He's just keeping these tanks around. There's no more Banelings left. It's only Hydras and Zerglings being made. If he can edge forward, he's going to have to rely on just the Queens for the time being.
Well,
this is a very tense moment here.
The rally line of TY is large, but it's really far away right now. This could be a moment where he can break through this push. Ling's on top of that siege tank.
Oh my god, he didn't kill the tank.
Yeah, he actually pulled back.
Yeah, that was
an all-army sled.
Control groups here. I don't know, man. One more siege tank siege up. He's going to go on the high ground here too. He's actually going to edge one of these tanks back, I think. The bruised one.
That makes sense. Still a lot of pressure coming out. Ultras are on the way. Ultras could be the key to actually breaking this push open.
That hatch is at half HP. The Marauders are here in the front, making the Banelings a lot harder to actually be optimized. Oh my god, he's so good. Look at this. Banelings, what? And he's taking the gold base.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, he's
Will
so
he
good.
be able to pull this caper off?
That's right. Ultras are out, with not as many Lings with them. He's actually kiting now behind the tanks.
Look at that weird tank angle. Oh my god. It's like we're looking underneath it. And he is going to be able to push this back with those Queens transfusing, I believe.
And even if he gets a Liberation Zone set up, he's knocked Terran back pretty far. Okay,
Ooh.
but see, without the Ultra, these Marines are very deadly.
Yeah, now all the Queens going to end up dying.
TY is a beast.
4 more Ultras, a bunch more Lings on the way. Dark has got to stabilize this ASAP, and Ultralist flank coming in. Those Marines are very low on health.
Marines have stimmed so many times, they and the medevacs are moving so much they can't quite get healed.
Watch one Ultra attack kill this group.
Just one slight.
Oh my god.
Dark. Okay, now Dark can actually possibly try to come in here and squish the gold base.
Well, he can stabilize at this point. Just now that he's held this off of being able to start his 3-3. He's got very, very good units. TY, though, sitting here on 92 workers. God, I just love how many workers TY makes. His economy gets so out of control, taking expansions all over the place.
Yeah, you know, one thing about TY is even when the push is held off, he's actually expanded so much, it's still a problem for the Zerg.
Yeah.
But I have to say, kudos to Dark for actually holding that push. That was crazy. I was actually pretty confident that TY might just pull through and smash the hatchery.
To be honest, when it started working so well, I was a little bit surprised because he had added that second factory, but he just went with the 4 tanks he had.
Right.
And it started to work out very well. Like, Dark was just kind of being a little bit greedy with how quickly he was teching and all, but very well done by TY to do what he did with that push.
The gold base may ramp up the Terran's position where he can actually push out again. Maybe not this time to the top, but to the center right. But hold up, big attack down here. And one problem for Terran is that when they have that many bases, they have to defend them all. It's hard to have your army in the right spot at the right time. TY reversing and going for drops instead here. The Ultras and Lings actually headed up here. I think there's enough to hold this off. Am I right? Yeah, there's a lot of Marauders there. Oh, but TY.
Counterattack coming in right now, and Ultra is there to meet it, though. He picks up to go into maybe the back natural there. No, turns around. What was that?
What was that? Is this map haunted? Are we going to be the extras?
We've been talking about that as Ghost Jellyfish.
This is a horror movie. I definitely am the first guy to die.
Yeah, you would die pretty
I'd definitely
early.
be the guy that, you know.
I would be
I'm like the loud guy who drinks and stuff, and they're like, well, he has to go.
I think I'd be the last guy
There
to
it is.
die.
What was that sound?
It's something that's hunting us.
I'm going to try to talk back to it. Hold on. Okay, it thinks it's one of us now. This attack over here is going to take out... Actually, he's going to lose both these all at once. Look at Dark. Dark just lasts, man. This guy is the Energizer Bunny.
Yeah.
He's in the late game.
Let's kill all the command centers.
Wait a minute. Where did all of TY's bases go? Egad, Artosis. No more bases for this this Terran, but TY is going for a pretty vicious attack.
Yeah, this is a really strong move, especially against Dark, who skips the Spire for a really long time. All these Liberators kind of covering him from the Ultralisks.
Okay, but can he actually make this work? This is like right in the heart of the Zerg's base.
Because he
we're
can
going
kill
for
this
the
all
hive.
off. There's a ton of tech in here.
But TY and his bases, man. I mean, this should eventually be held, right?
Yeah, you would imagine. He's making Corruptors, so I would say that's going to be the point where he can really
Just
hold
makes
it.
20 mutas and just comes in here and wins the game. It's not enough Marines. It's like, oh, okay. Well, that's sort of one way to do it.
Look at these Liberators,
What if he gets
though.
the spawning pool and the Spire and the Hive and the... Uh-oh, look at this poor Ultra. Whoa,
man,
never
can't
made it
make it
through.
Well, with
I'm
these,
coming.
the Corruptors can actually just kill everything now. There's only 2 Marines left in this little group of IO.
Don't forget, Corruptors can shoot green stuff on the ground, guys. Hope you're taking notes. Oh, this is smart. He goes for the medevacs. Look at this. He's like, wait a minute, I know what you really need.
Killing off everything that TY has right there. I think that Dark has just won the game,
Yeah,
basically.
well, he knocked TY back into the Stone Age. He doesn't have like, anywhere near as much tools at his disposal. I will say TY, I think, has a really smart way of playing this. He's just going to keep trying to do these little drops because he knows Zerg doesn't have that much, but it's not drawing the Zerg back. It seems like Dark is aware that, you know, he might have to sack some drones and stuff in order to just come in here and smash his base. Good job, though. TY actually takes out a hatchery. That's something.
Now, if he can get in and kill this last base, that one right there, that should be enough for Dark, I would say, to seal the deal on this game. TY, though, still has a pretty frightening force. Like, he has a lot of Liberators up. He did kill the Spire, so we're just sitting on 8 Corruptors until he can get more, but 3 Vipers on the way before the Ghost Academy gets started.
Gosh, you know, Dark really is just a player that he is such a survivor, you know?
Yeah.
He just lasts. But eventually he's suddenly got more than you, and even though TY has all these pretty awesome little ninja attacks here and there, and he's doing damage, Dark is like, look at how many units I have, you fool, and just rolls over all the bases. It's like, cut it out.
And it's not even that often he gets that. Like, I think a lot of the wow behind Dark comes from when he gets hurt early on. Like, there isn't another Zerg that can do as much as he can do with 45 drones.
Okay, he drives out those links. There it is again.
God,
Is there
it's like Jurassic
raptor?
Park.
Is there a raptor in the studio? Won't matter if we shut the doors. They know how to open doors. I know a lot about raptors. That's weird.
All the important things, at least.
Yeah, absolutely. So you don't believe me? Come to my house. I'll show you my Jurassic Park baseball hat.
They have to come to your house to see a baseball hat.
Yeah,
That's funny.
I'm not a hat person. I don't wear hats that often. I don't look that good. I think Dark is gearing up to actually try to hit this location, harpooning those Liberators. There are a lot of Marauders in the back, so the Ultras might not be able to do as much damage. Great ghost control.
Yeah, he picks off absolutely every Ultralisk here. Another one coming in with the Hydras and Banes, but this is a lot of Marine Marauder.
Man, 37 SCV kills. And now he's knocking the medevac count down hugely. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Get the fire extinguisher. Oh, GG.
Well, that is a 2-0 for Dark so far, Tasteless. This guy looking really prepared to go to that round of 4. I'm surprised to see TY go down 0-2. He almost never, like, TY puts up sick fights against everyone. But it seems like Dark really on top of his game here at the end of the year.
I actually thought that TY was probably going to win the first few games. Then we're going to see Dark just move up and eventually overcome. But Dark is scary. I think Dark is one of these players. You have to kill him before a certain point in time.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of the movie Speed, Keanu Reeves, Sandra Bullock. I'm thinking of a joke. It's not coming to me. Is Dark the bus? No, I don't know.
Hold on. So you have to kill him before a certain amount
The bus can't go under 50 miles an hour, right?
Yeah, what does this have to do?
I'm lost. It was something like...
TY is on the bus,
Yeah.
and the bus is making 50 Ultralisks per hour. But TY can't leave the bus.
Maybe Dark is the bus, and TY is that old lady at the start of the movie who's like, I want to get off this bus, and then it blows up, and she gets run over by the bus. Yeah, there we go. I got it.
Oh, okay. This next map, Mech Depot. Oh, Jesus. Mech Depot, another big one. But if TY can turn it around here, Abyssal Reef and Newkirk Precinct goes a lot more TY favored, I think, than these last 2 maps.
Mech Depot is where TY has to come back, or Dark is the last player in the Final 4.
2017 Hot 6 GSL Season 3 Code S.
In the upper right, in the blue. 2-0.
Dark.
Why are you laughing at me?
No,
You think this is funny? You think this is funny?
That's a great
You
intro.
think my intros aren't that good? You want to go? You do an intro. You do an intro.
Okay.
Well, over here, in the bottom left.
Hey, shut up. In the bottom left, our Terran player, 0-2.
Boo!
TY.
There's a little ramp at the command center.
Well, how would the SCVs get out?
Yeah.
They can't jump. We already
See
know
the little
that.
ramp
And
at the
Reapers can
bottom
jump.
left? That's how you get up and down there with your wheelchair.
Whew. Mech Depot, big map. Oh, Mac.
Here's going, Mac. Oh, got some Dark support.
7
Thank you.
dank years. Wow, this is the most memed out sign ever.
Oh, the memitude. The Tom memery. This memetopolis. Memecropolis?
You're giving me Memitis right now.
Back. Thanks for coming down, guys.
Welcome, welcome.
Welcome. Okay, now let's see what song plays next. Shh. So can I be any more music? Do we run out of music?
No,
Oh, no, hold on, I hear it.
very quietly.
Yeah. Oh, this is setting the mood, too.
It's early morning.
It's early morning.
The sun is just rising.
The Zergs are waking up. And they're not tired, Artosis. They slept well. Oh, here they go. Now they're gearing up. Uh-oh. They're morphing into banelings. Oh, shit.
Don't worry. There's 2 Templar that are going to make themselves into an Archon.
Yeah.
That should do it. I heard that they can equalize with an Ultralisk and disappear.
Yeah. Well, we've had a lot of units disappearing due to glitches this day, so. Dark.
Do you think Dark's going to 3-0?
I actually think he is. You know what happened last time I said he was
you just
going to 3-0?
never believe.
Yeah, I don't, man.
Why don't you believe in TY? Why do you hate TY so much?
Yeah.
Can't you just admit that TY is a great player?
Yeah. Does anyone else think Tasis was cheering so hard for Dark he didn't even mention TY's great play? Sorry, guys.
Just imagining Tasis cheer for a player is so funny to me.
Oh, I was joking about this a while back. It's like, imagine if I actually cheered. I'm like, look out! He's gonna get you at the top. Run!
Run!
You can maybe get what are you doing, TY? I'm
Go
cheering.
TY! TY! Oh, he's making
If I
Hellion. Kill his drones, TY!
If I cheer hard enough, maybe he'll be motivated to win because that's how it works. Yeah. But I actually do think this game could end up looking just like the other games.
Yeah.
Where it's like TY looks really good and he's pushing out and he's doing a lot of damage. And then Dark is like, I have a lot of stuff. I have a lot of stuff.
These big maps are like that too. You know, it's so hard to attack across quickly. Now, again, Abyssal and Newkirk are our last 2 maps. So if TY wins here, it is really not too unlikely that he comes back and wins this series. It's kind of a funny map order, to be honest.
Okay, mech construction, we get it, Artosis.
I'm just too excited.
You're too excited about
I can't
these
shut
mech
up
units,
about
yeah.
it. Oh, a Roach Warren. You
Yeah.
see that? You see what I see?
Yeah, well, yes, I do. A lot of nice vegetation on this map. By the way, this could probably be a national park.
Well, it's pretty polluted from all the mech that's been built here.
Yeah, that's true. Mankind
But,
came in
hey,
and
if you
destroyed
need
this
to-
beautiful place.
If you need to dump oil into the water, as long as that's cost efficient, I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
Because
By the
mech
time
is
we're
the
done,
most cost efficient.
TY wins
unit
this, they're going to
comp.
start fracking on this map. It's
Yeah.
going to be a bittersweet.
Yep.
Bittersweet end here on Mech Depot.
2 drop lords with speed. Bunch of roaches out, Tasteless.
The Raven. He's going to chuck some auto turrets in here. But, dude, if he's actually got all of his stuff out here on the map, this could be bad news bears for Dark.
Like, this has been very greedy by TY in a lot of ways, right? He's making 2 eBays right now. He's already made 3 command centers. He doesn't have a lot of units. Look at this. He's making bunkers at the front, but there are drop overlords, so he doesn't necessarily need to attack the front. He can attack the back. What do you think about that?
Look at you.
What do you think about that, dude?
Okay. The attack is about to go underway.
Ooh, he sees the drop lord.
Oh, up. Oh my God, he didn't get it.
No.
He sees the roaches now. Just like in Game of Thrones, the Terrans are blowing their horns 3 times
Yeah.
as they come to the wall.
Here we go.
Now the bunker is actually in kind of a funny spot because he can't quite get the corrosive biles to hit it without eating the tank damage. This is really well placed.
Dude, this, like, so far, TY is looking pretty strong on a
He
whole.
might not get broken here. I feel like we need to see the front. Okay, there we go. Oh, maybe I am completely wrong. Okay, he gets the tank, and I don't believe there's another tank on the high ground.
Those biles, super, super important right there. He does have another tank out, though. Hasn't lost too many SCVs yet. Let's not forget that Dark has really put a lot into this as well.
I think Dark's actually going to take this,
I think you're right. That is a
He
lot
just
of
needs to edge
Ravagers.
forward and get the corrosive biles on the tanks. Oh my God, he hit a Raven with that.
Not just that, but he takes out the bunker and all the units inside of it. Uh-oh, TY may be exiting very unceremoniously here from this round of 8.
Wow, that is going to be it, man. This is the point of no return. I love the mix-ups here. He just decided to go for a super aggro build on Game 3. And TY is not going to get to play the game he wanted to play. GG!
Whoa.
Dark's moving on.
So sick. Dark in his first round of 4 in the GSL Code S also has locked a spot for BlizzCon. There are only 2 spots remaining right now. Hero and Byun actually holding those spots,
Right.
but we'll see if that continues.
Dark saying TY more like Terran yogurt. sick burn.
Terran yogurt.
Terran yogurt.
That's what it
That's
tasted
what he
like.
turned him into, and then he ate him.
It was sour
It's
yogurt.
A good
It went
probiotic.
bad. Oh my! Feeding all of this stomach bacteria inside
right.
of Dark's belly.
Most of your mood is based off the bacteria in
He
your
put
stomach.
TY through his nidus worm.
We're going to have an interview now with Dark and see how he's feeling. A very convincing defeat, saying Dark doesn't care who the Terran is. He can go all the way. 3-0.
Yes, 3-0. That's pretty damn impressive, and he's in top 4 in SSL right now that plays in 2
넘으니까
days.
거침없습니다.
That's-
4강 진출자
that's awesome.
박명우 선수입니다. 축하드립니다.
감사합니다.
Congratulations, he says thank you.
와, 3대0 승리입니다. 소감 어떠세요?
3-0.
사실
How
오기
do you feel?
전에는 진짜 이겨도 3대2 이렇게
So before I
이길 줄
came to the studio,
걱정 많이 하고 왔는데 생각보다 좀 잘 풀려가지고
I thought
다행히
even if I won, it should be
최근에
3-2.
이신영 선수를
But the games just
3대0으로
went my way.
잡고 전태양 선수까지 3대0으로 잡았어요.
네.
테란전이 쉬우세요?
쉬운 느낌은 없는데 희한하게 다들 그렇게
You're looking great for the round of 16. Are you feeling comfortable?
네.
그런 것 같아요.
그런데 스타일
You know,
변화가
I don't-
느껴지네요. 원래
I don't feel
가난하게
CDT is easy,
가더라도 후반 보는
But I think it
스타일이
has a lot more to do with the Terrans than it
좀
does with the
달라진 게
Zergs.
있어요?
What kind of builds they do.
사실 그 아이의
I'm hoping that Terrans feel just a little less confident facing me.
네.
좀왜 졌나 곰곰이 생각을 해봤는데 좀
So I actually lost
가난한-
against TY and IEM,
네.
그냥 두드러 맞다
and I thought a lot about the matches and what I needed to do to fix that. So
네. 네, 그래서
I
그런지
tried to
전태양
just
선수가 갈피를 못
adjust my
잡는 것
play
같은
slightly
느낌이었어요.
from
오늘
those IEM
건설
matches and it
로봇
paid off.
계속 뽑다가 안타까운 경기가 많이 나왔거든요. 오늘 경기력 대체로 얼마나 만족하세요?
사실 연습 때 좀 절반도 안 나온 것 같아서 되게 좀
how satisfied are you with your
많이
performance today?
떨리더라고요.
네.
그래서 연습 도와준 좀 재선이한테 미안한데
아,
So I was
연습을
pretty nervous. I
도와주셨어요.
was actually a little bit shaky.
네.
I think that this is 50% of what my true skill is at.
자, 정말
I do also feel
그렇게
sorry.
어렵게 느껴졌던 상위 라운드인데
Oh, I want to thank
한 번
Bunny as well. Well,
넘으니까
practice.
쭉쭉 갑니다. 4강에도 처음 왔어요.
네.
So
어떠세요?
Dark, you've always struggled to make it to the quarterfinals in GSL,
네.
but now you got past the round of 16, got past the round of
네.
8, and now you have this momentum.
그냥 우승하고 싶어요.
Yeah, I thought the round of 16
다시
was the
만난
milestone
이신영
I
선수를
had to
만나게
pass.
됐지만 두렵지 않으시겠어요?
사실 신영이 형이
He also says he's not
겉으로
afraid to
맨날
face anybody,
약속하면서
even
막상
Artosis,
중요한
unreal.
데 준비할 때는 진짜
So you're going to be up against Innovation,
오늘보다
Yeah.
더 힘들 것 같지만 그래도 제가
but Innovation is a different player.
이겨내도록 하겠습니다.
He poses a real threat,
와,
but
오늘
you know what? I'm
팬들의
confident against
환호가
him too.
정말 엄청났습니다. 박명우 선수에게 모두 열광했는데 팬들에게 한마디 마지막으로 들어보겠습니다.
Here, there's a lot of fans in the studio. They've been cheering for you. You have anything you want to say to them?
정말 오래 기다리셨습니다. 이제 GSL에서도 우승할 때가 됩니다.
I know a lot of people have been waiting for me to get deep into GSL. I want you to know now's my time to win this year round. So congratulations.
네, 자 이렇게 돌아온 박명우 선수
Wow.
잘 만나봤는데요. 자,
What
이렇게
a crazy
완성된
top four we
4강
have. This is one of those
대진표
crazy
확인해
all-star
보시죠.
top fours where no one's a surprise. It's like who you would write down on a piece of paper if you didn't even see the tournament
It's like you
beforehand.
made a wish.
SOS, two-time world champ.
Two-time world champion.
Stats.
Perhaps
The greatest Artosis in the world.
In the world. Sorry, go ahead.
Innovation and Dark. And I mean, that's perfect racial balance once again. Cheers.
It would be better if one of them played random. Not really.
Well, yeah, they wouldn't be in the tournament then.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a crazy next round. The finals. Look at that, guys. A lot of people ask when the finals is. 9/16. That's not a time. That's a date.
It's a date, guys. Come on.
It's not like 9/16 tonight.
SOS for stats. I actually really look forward to that mirror matchup. And Innovation versus Dark. Are you kidding me?
Dude.
No matter what, a Protoss in the finals, either against the greatest Terran or the greatest Zerg.
Yeah.
And it's going to be the greatest Protoss because that's going to be decided with SOS versus stats.
And no matter how you look at this, these are all great matches
Yeah.
that we would see there. I think it's going to be SOS Innovation, man.
I'm
feeling it.
I want it.
How crazy would that be? That would be Innovation's 4th finals, which is pretty crazy.
And
So
SOS
long
is
ways
yet
off.
to win a GSL Code S.
Yeah. And if he does, he takes another BlizzCon spot because he's the furthest down person that can still make it. So he needs a 6-strong finish here.
We're going to have a very strong
Code S.
finish for this season in the Code S, man.
Yeah.
Great lineup. Players that everybody's saying, okay, these are definitely guys that could have won. No real dark horse here.
No, every one of these guys is already a champion.
Yeah. champion in my heart.
They are.
Yeah. What do you have to say about that?
Certainly. I thought
Aren't
I
you
was
glad
only
I'm
champion
here?
in your heart.
I
but
contribute a lot to this
no,
cast.
you do.
Yeah.
You're an important part.
Yeah.
7 years of working with Tasteless, guys. I'm just thrilled. Here's to 7 more.
We have the Super Tournament coming up. More like Super Duper Tournament. This is going to be a 4-day marathon with the very best of the best here in Korea. This will occur after we finish up with the GSL Code S because we're just trying to squeeze in a little bit more StarCraft 2.
Yeah. It starts on the 28th, right through the 1st. That's going to be very long days, all best of 5s until we get up to that last day. But yeah, this is a great time to be alive, man. It's a great time for StarCraft.
It is. I believe we're going to announce the winner.
Oh, the winners of the contest or whatever?
Contest? I'm like, of the tournament? Is that how we do
Okay.
this?
Simon Freneck, Steven Johnson, and Mike House. Mike
did
House, I know that's not your real name. How are we going to mail that to you when that's not even your real name?
This is, you guys did it.
It's like a Bart Simpson call. I'm like, hey, is there a Mike House there? He's
Yeah,
like,
it is.
Mike House, is there a Mike House?
What
Bart's
if it's
just
his real
cracking up.
name? Yeah.
Well, thank you for sending stuff in, guys.
Yeah. You guys
guys-
are going to get a GSL uniform.
Yeah.
And you're going to go home and you're going to sleep with it on, just like you do with your new cool leather
Should
jacket.
send in some pictures of you wearing your
Yeah.
GSL uniform or putting it on your wall or whatever you're going to do with
Yeah.
it. Or they send a picture of the eBay posting of it. I'm like, oh, okay, that's
I'm like,
smart
wow.
too. Yeah.
Savage. This was a good day. The games are great. I am surprised by the 3-0.
No?
I really thought it was going to be longer.
Oh, I
for the
thought this
TVZ.
second match was
I thought
gonna
it was
be-
go to 5 games for sure, but I guess not.
Yeah, that first game, I was like, yeah, we're going to have a lot looking like this, I think. You know, just long back and forth, crazy games. I'm kind of sad that there's not, but it's cool that Dark will be at BlizzCon. He's playing well. Maybe he wins a GSL finally.
We're out of time. We'll see you in the semifinals. We love you. Have a good morning, afternoon, or night, wherever you are. Mwah.